Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. You know, we've been honored to have some legendary voices on this program. Vince Scully's been on, Brent Musburger, Vern Lundquist, Dick Enberg, and obviously the man who's sitting to my right is no exception. He is the legend of the booth himself, and tonight on IFC, Brockmire debuts at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Jim Brockmire. How are you, Jim?
I'm very good, Rich Eisen, and thank you for including just mentioning my name with all those greats. It gives me a thrill, I'll tell you that.
Including Musburger? You don't have a...
Not including Musburger. He's a punk-ass bitch, but everybody else, absolutely wonderful.
See, I knew that. You have a long-standing rivalry with him because, I mean, we've been talking with one another for years, based on our conversations on the show that this show was born out of, the Rich Eisen podcast from back in the day. So we've been chatting for years.
Yeah, no, Brent's hanging it up, and hashtag good riddance to bad rubbish. Oh, come on, America agrees with me. We've been putting up with this idiot for a long time.
Mm.
About time he goes.
But we've at least had a good history together, you and I, right?
Oh, we have. Listen, Rich Eisen, we still call it a podcast. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not anymore.
Well, I mean, this is a show now that there's a podcast version.
It still is a podcast.
Yes, there is a podcast of this show.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, whatever the hell this is that you got going on here, it certainly has helped me out a lot. No, sincerely, I want to thank you for uncovering the rock that society placed over me and re-exposing me to the light of day. I sure appreciate it, but I do want to say that America, whatever I unleash upon you from now on, that's solely because of you, Rich Eisen. That is your fault.
I can't take credit. I must
yes,
deflect.
No, I will not let you deflect credit here. This is all Rich Eisen's fault, okay? And I scream that a lot. That's like my catchphrase practically in hotel room busts and courtrooms and interview meltdowns. It's all Rich Eisen's fault. I yell it out. And seriously, so whatever happens next, it's on you. Even I don't know what I'm going to do next. I have I didn't know I was going to do that.
I didn't know you were going to stick your butt out like that either,
Jim. Who
Jim.
knew, right? And listen, a lot of strange things have happened, too. Like, I got some... very controversial views on the Brexit. You familiar with the Brexit? I'm serious.
Really?
Apparently, I voiced these in some kind of a blackout drunk, and now I don't know why I'm not allowed in Northern Ireland. I'm labeled a terrorist there, and I'm guessing so are you, because I usually connect you to whatever the hell it is I'm doing.
Well, look, and what you're doing, I'm here with Jim Brockmire on the Rich Eisen Show on the night that IFC tells your story about your comeback in a small town in Pennsylvania. You're calling minor league games, correct?
Calling minor league ball games. Absolutely right. I figured, why should rich comedians be the only ones who can have shows based on their lives? I mean, that Larry David I get. He's funny. Who doesn't love watching some kind of cranky, weird billionaire run around? But you know what I don't get? Seriously, Andrew Dice Clay. You know that he has got a program coming out based on his life? He does. I mean, what's that? I got a lot more to offer than, nursery rhymes and misogyny. What is that garbage? Plus, I did not pudge out, Rich Eisen. I have remained lean and mean and TV ready.
You do look great, Jim.
Come on. I almost to a weird degree, like somewhere between wrongfully imprisoned jail yard cut and newly divorced dad re-entering the singles market cut. So I know you got a lot of listeners, right? So you can't see me, but just picture that. You'll see a relatable TV star in your mind.
Well, I personally, I've just enjoyed the show and seeing it out there and a story that's, quite frankly, inspirational, Jim.
Thank you, Rich.
For those out there.
I'm very gratified that you liked it, and I always like to hear when people I respect like the show. What I like more is when people I respect more than you like the show, which is what I prefer, which there have been dozens, thankfully. Yeah. And because, no, seriously, I don't want to have to pull quotes from you. I mean, that would be sad. But honestly, it's the unfiltered truth, seriously, on this show. Baseball, sex, a lot of hard drinking, which that goes with both of those first two things. Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a baseball game or had sex sober? You ever done that? I mean, it's awful. It's just awful. It's, they're both ancient and weird practices, and you need a buzz to appreciate them, I find.
Well, the show is on IFC, again, premiering tonight, April 5th.
IFC, yeah. They assure me that is a real channel, by the way. I've been promised that. I don't know what it stands for. I found Carlito's Way in the video bin. I don't know what it stands for. But it's a check your local listings deal, like it's 309 or 12,004. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if you just say IFC out loud, then the NSA or Apple TV or the NRA or somebody picks that up and puts it on your channel.
I've got Jim Brockmire here on the Rich Eisen Show, and I'd love to ask you, Jim, about what baseball is doing, trying to change rules to speed the game up, and try to appeal to millennials. For instance,
them folks. I call them folks.
Millennials is them folks?
Them folks, yeah.
Well, them folks apparently can't pay attention to an intentional walk. There's now that rule change where you could just put the runner on base. What do you think?
I'm an old school guy, but surprisingly, I'm totally in favor of this because baseball has a long history of using hand signals to advance people to bases. I think most of them were invented by that drunken Mickey Mantle. And, for example, the nose flick and the nod, that means I want to bring you back to the hotel room and get to second base with you. And you've seen this, like the thigh sweep.
Yeah, the rubbing of the thighs. Yeah,
that's I want to go to third with you. And... And this one,
where you're just laying stuff out.
You're gently laying $100 bills on a mattress. That means I want to go all the way with you, all the way home. That's what that means.
So, do you have rules that you could come up with, you, Jim Brockmire, to help the commissioner of baseball perhaps appeal to the younger fans? Do you have any changes?
I do. I'm so glad you asked me. I've given this a lot of thought.
You have? Okay.
A lot of thought, almost to like an obsessively weird degree.
Yes.
Like when I'm sitting alone late at night, and I don't want to get into it. I call it sad lotion time, but that's another story. But
okay. So what do you got? What do you got?
First of all, let's see.
Yes.
Every team should have a designated fat guy. Okay. Yes, designated fat guy. I hate the designated hitter, by the way.
Okay.
Nothing baseball-like about somebody not fielding their position. This microphone's getting in my way, Rich Eisen.
Just use your hands, whatever you wish.
I don't like it. And you look at you're a Honda whore. What kind of a Honda whore?
Well, it's the best type.
All right. Anyway.
Yes.
Designated hitter, terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what screams baseball is some big fat piece of shit struggling his way to run around a green field. And I'm sorry to curse. I'm sorry I cursed. I know that your three listeners do not enjoy that, so I'm sorry to you three folks. But seriously, every team should have like some John Kruk. You have to do it. Somebody you could just blame for every fart and every destroyed bathroom. The Mets, come on. Success in New York. Bartolo Colon has been that for many years, and every single New Yorker is richer for it. He's just the toad man who kissed a princess and wound up the king of New York. El Rey del Nueva York, Rich Eisen.
So that's one. You got any more?
Well, that's one. That's just the first one.
That's just the first
one.
one.
I got tons of them. Pranks. One prank per dugout per game. Let's just bring that back. Dugouts, Rich Eisen.
Yes.
They were the original, what do the kids call that? Punked, right? The punked. Except instead, no, you've seen that show.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's called Punked, right?
Yeah,
I'm not off base here. Except instead of, Justin Timberlake crying like a little child, you see adult men with gum on their head. It's a lot of fun. Bring them all back. Again with the microphone, Rich. I blame you. Bring them back. Like the hot foot, right? Classic. The rookie in the weird outfit.
Sure.
The San Diego Surprise. Bring that.
What's that?
The San Diego Surprise?
Yeah, it was the San Diego Surprise.
Oh, that's a good one. That's when the mother of your children walks up to you and informs you that your firstborn has actually been fathered by a San Diego Padre. No, it's funny, right? Because it's so often true. Who can't relate to that one? Your oldest is a San Diego
It's
Padre.
unbelievable. I was just told that last week.
Yeah,
It
amazing,
threw
right?
me for a loop, Jim.
San Diego surprise.
San Diego
Surprised you didn't know it.
Is there any way you could work Kurt Schilling into one of these new rules?
Oh,
Can you do that? Can you do that for me, Jim?
It would be a shame to leave him out, wouldn't it? I mean, a shame. Yeah, let's. You know what we should do with Kurt Schilling?
What?
Let's make it also mandatory that you have to do the Kurt Schilling meme of the day, right? Because who has their finger on the pulse beat of America more than Kurt Schilling? Just let's point up what he's saying. A quarter of the country will completely agree with it, and the rest of us, will just marvel at how some guy who put fake blood on his sock can be so just insanely racist. You know what I mean? And let's not hide it. Let's bring it out. Let's have the conversation, before the brown shirts get their marching orders and we're not allowed to say anything anymore.
Jim Brockmire here on the Rich Eisen Show. A couple more minutes with him. You got one more? You got one more rule change? Because I got to be honest with you, Jim. A couple of these may not go up the flagpole at the Rob Manfred Commissioner's office.
Well, they'll go up the flagpole. It's just that he won't salute. But you put it out there. That's why it's a volume business. I got a couple more for you.
Okay.
Dominican slang. You familiar?
No, I'm unfamiliar.
Dominican slang is fantastic. It's bizarre and it's arcane and it's weird. It's like that Cockney rhyming slang, it's spoken in every dugout on every team, and it's so strange.
You got an example for me?
I do. For example, piltraffa. You familiar with piltraffa?
What's piltraffa?
Piltraffa means so worthless that you should be eaten by pigs. That's true. Can you imagine working that into a baseball broadcast? Well, here comes Jason Hayward, and man, oh man, his contract has made him something of a piltraffa. Right? I mean, come on, let's do it.
You know what? Conyo is a good phrase.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You kiss your mama with that mouth? Dial it down. Disgusting, Rich Eisen. It's a family podcast.
Where do you stand on bat flips, Jim?
Oh, I am so glad you asked me that. I could kiss your bald head. Bat flips should be mandatory.
Yes.
Mandatory. Are you kidding me? What's fun about laying a bat gently down after you've hit a baseball? If you are standing in a batter's box and you have hit a ball, it is your divine right, your God-given right to hurl that thing as high and hard and as fast as you want, wherever you want. Stands, dugout. Hey, who cares if you hit a child or a teammate? No. A lovely souvenir concussion. They'll remember it the rest of their lives. Or they'll immediately forget it because they're concussed. But either way, who cares? Right?
You know what, Jim?
Who's with me?
Jim, you're a visionary. You're a visionary.
Hey, one of those ideas will hit.
I think, well, look.
Come on, Manfred. Don't be such a pussy. Can I say that?
No, you can't, actually.
All right.
You actually cannot say that about
Well, I just said it.
You have. Jim, I got to tell you, like I said, you're a visionary. I'm thrilled that your show is hitting IFC.
IFC. They tell me it's a real channel.
It is a real channel.
Yeah.
It's somewhere on the cable dial.
Somewhere.
And it debuts tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Congratulations on everything. I've been rooting for you for years to make it back.
You're a big part of the comeback, Rich Eisen.
Well,
You went bald at 23.
No, I didn't. No,
oh,
it's
yes,
not
you
23.
Did. Wasn't it?
No,
24 maybe?
No. It was.
But you know what's amazing?
What?
You went bald when you were 9, and then it just stopped. Seriously. Like, now it got arrested. Because you were on by now, you should be just like one of those people, alopecia, have no hair anymore. Just been all gone.
By the way, alopecia was a great second baseman.
Oh, he was.
Wasn't he? You called alopecia's games, didn't you?
Alopecia came up through the Met system. He came up at Tidewater. And, he came up with Piso Mojado that they both got dealt.
They did?
Yeah, I think for Edgardo Alfonso. I think.
Good to see you, Jim Brockmire.
You too, Rich Eisen.
Jim Brockmire. Check out Brockmire on IFC tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
I love you, America. Thanks for having me back.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.